how to get you to that point. Coming to you directly won't help you. So I gave you my name. भगवान ने अपने आप को नाम के रूप में प्रकट किया और अनंत नाम दिए भगवान ने, और कोई प्रतिबंधन नहीं बनाया कि इस समय नाम लेना गलत है, इस स्थान पर नाम लेना गलत है। ये सब कर्मकांड की बातें लागू नहीं होते भगवान के नाम लेने में। कहीं भी कभी भी भगवान का नाम ले सकते हैं। वो दिव्य है, वो महान पवित्र तत्व है। जो भी उस नाम को छू ले वो भी पवित्र हो जाता है। भगवान का नाम कभी अपवित्र नहीं हो सकता। So God has given us His name. This is the first riayat. He says, if I come to you directly, you won't benefit, so I give you my name. I am in my name. My name is another form of me. And by chanting my name with that faith that I am in this name, your heart, your mind, we call it antahkaran, that gradually purifies. This is called sadhana bhakti. The goal is prema bhakti, and that will be received when our mind is fully purified. Then care of Guru, गुरु के माध्यम से हमको भगवान की अंतिम कृपा मिल जाएगी। उससे हमारा अंतःकरण दिव्य हो जाएगा, इंद्रियां भी दिव्य हो जाएंगी। So when our mind is fully purified by taking God's name, then through the Guru, the true God realized saint will receive God's greatest grace, which is to make our mind and senses divine. Then in our divine mind we can get His supreme divine power, Premanand, Prema Shakti, His divine love. And we'll have divine eyes so we can see Him. He's here now, we can't see Him because we don't have divine eyes. Just like when Arjun asked in Gita, Drashtumichhami te rupamaishwaram purushottama. Oh Krishna, I want to see your divine form. Can you show me your divinity? Shri Krishna said, Natumam shakyase drashtu maninaiva swachakshusha. You can't see me with your eyes, Arjun. I look like an ordinary being to you. But Divyam dadami te chakshu pashyame yogamaishwaram. I'll give you divine eyes. Then you'll be able to see me. And that's when Arjun had the divine vision of Shri Krishna. So that's the goal, to reach that point of complete heart purifications. पूर्ण अंतःकरण की शुद्धि हो जाए, तब भगवान की गुरु के द्वारा कृपा मिल जाएगी। मन, इंद्रियां सब दिव्य हो जाएंगे और हम भगवान से मिलेंगे, उनका प्रेमानंद भी मिल जाएगा। So that is the goal of practicing devotion. We call sadhana bhakti. That's to purify our mind so that we can be a fit receptacle to receive God's supreme power, get a divine mind, and then experience His divine love and have His divine vision as well. So what is the means of purifying the heart? The first one I told you is His name. If you take His name with that faith that He is in His name, this is Radha Krishna in another form, then the power of the name is revealed in the heart, and the heart is purified gradually. It's a process. The heart is purified, and also the experience of bhav bhakti is awakened in the heart as the power of the name is revealed. That means we start to actually feel something when we're chanting God's name, not just a physical practice anymore, but it's actually you're experiencing a glimpse or a jhalak of God's divine love, divine bliss through that name. However much our heart is purified, however much our mind is attached to the name faithfully, that much experience we start to get. And that grows as the heart purifies. So that's भगवान का नाम, ये पहली रियायत है। इसके बिना किसी की भगवत प्राप्ति कभी नहीं हो सकती थी। If God had not graced us in this way, giving us His name as the means of reaching Him, then no soul could have ever gotten God realized in the history of existence. Now the second riyayat is also very important. I told you that simply chanting the name is not enough, because we have to visualize the one whose name we're chanting. So if we're chanting Radha Krishna's name, we should visualize them. This is called Roop Dhyan. Why do we have to visualize them? Because our mind is always visualizing something. We don't really think in words, right? We think in pictures in our mind. So our mind is always going somewhere, thinking something. Wherever our mind is, that is what counts as our action in that moment. We may be sitting here chanting God's name, but if our mind is thinking of something else, God is not noting that this person is chanting my name. He doesn't even care about that. He's looking, where is this person's mind? We could be thinking something critical about someone else, criticizing them in our mind and chanting God's name. See, we're having negative thoughts, but from our mouth we're chanting God's name. So what did God note as our karma in that moment? He noted down, this person was thinking this negative thought about them. He didn't even note down that we were chanting His name. Doesn't matter. Where is our mind? That's what matters. Therefore, we have to do Roop Dhyan. Roop Dhyan is the way of tethering our mind to Bhagwan. If we're not visualizing the form of God that we are worshipping, then our mind is definitely visualizing something else in the world. Then bhakti kahan ho rahi hai? Jahan man hai, usi ki bhakti ho rahi hai. So the Roop Dhyan is required along with the chanting, but the problem that we are faced with in Roop Dhyan is again that our mind is Maya. So how will our mind correctly visualize God's divine form? It should be impossible, and it is impossible. This is where the second riyayat comes in. Bhagwan says, it's okay. I know you're trying. I know you can't imagine my correct form with the material mind. It's impossible. The material mind can't imagine anything divine. All the descriptions of Bhagwan, they're by divine saints who have a divine mind and divine eyes. They've seen divine God, but then they put the description in material words, and we try to imagine based on that with our material mind. Impossible for us to correctly imagine what Radha looks like, what Krishna looks like. So then our meditation is just a material meditation. It has no divine value. Yeah, that's how it should be, but that's not how it is. Bhagwan says, oh look, this soul is trying to remember me, trying to visualize me. That is his intention. He gives us the result of our intention. Bhagwan हमको फल दे देते हैं हमारी मंशा के अनुसार, तो हम ठीक से उनका दिव्य स्वरूप का ध्यान नहीं कर सकते, फिर भी हमको दिव्य फल दे देते हैं। भगवान कहते हैं कोई बात नहीं, मुझे मालूम है कि भगवत प्राप्ति से पहले माइक मन से कोई नहीं मेरा ध्यान कर सकता। इसलिए जो प्रयास करता है, जिसकी मंशा है कि मैं भगवान का रूप बना रहा हूं और ये सचमुच भगवान है, ये भगवत भावना है उसके ऊपर मैं कृपा कर देता हूं। God graces us for our material meditation as if we were doing a real divine meditation. That is the second riayat. Without that, nobody could have ever reached God. With our material mind, what could we ever do to earn a divine status? Impossible. But God just says, look, you surrender your material mind to me, I'll make your mind divine. Think of it that way. जो भी है तुम्हारे पास समर्पित कर दो, बस। वो सब माइक है, ठीक है, वही दे लो मुझे, भगवान कहते हैं, मैं वो सब दिव्य दिव्य बना के वापस कर दूंगा। God says, you just surrender your mic mind to me. It's okay, I'll make it divine and give it back to you. So this is the second riayat. The second big grace of Bhagwan is to accept our material meditation and give us divine grace for that. So now you've understood how can we attach our mind to God in order to purify it. This is the essence of sadhana bhakti, the practice of devotion. You have to do Roop Dhyan and you have to chant God's name. Roop Dhyan plus Kirtan. Then our mind gets attached to God. Now there's one more thing to enhance our feeling of connection with Bhagwan. Just worshipping Him is one thing. Loving Him is another. Bhakti का मतलब है प्यार करना, केवल उपासना नहीं, प्यार करना है। तो प्यार किससे होता है? जिससे कोई पास वाला संबंध हो, ये मेरा है, ये फीलिंग हो, ये अपनापन हो, तब प्यार होता है। So loving God requires a feeling of closeness with God, a feeling of close relationship. This is where the third riayat is required. यहाँ उनकी तीसरी रियायत चाहिए, इसके बिना कोई भी उनसे प्रेम नहीं कर सकता। क्यों? Why can't somebody love God? Or why would it be difficult to love God? Because of God's status. Bhagwan Shri Krishna, Aishwaryasya samagrasya dharmasya yashasah shriya Jnana vairagyayoschaiva sharnam bhagati rana. The definition of Bhagwan, according to the Bhagavatam, is the one who has 6 things in unlimited amount. One is Aishwarya. आप लोग थोड़ा सा और आगे आ जाइए, लोग अंदर नहीं आ पा रहे हैं, थोड़ा आगे। So the one who has 6 things in unlimited amount is called Bhagavan. Those 6 things are called Bhag, and Van means Wala, the one who has. Bhagavan, जिसके पास ये 6 चीजें हो अनंत मात्रा में. So the first one is Aishwarya, power. Bhagwan has unlimited power, unlimited Aishwarya. Second one is Dharma, righteousness. God is always right, He's perfect. Yash, that means fame, worshipfulness. God has that in unlimited amount. Shri, That means beauty and wealth. God has that divine beauty, divine wealth in unlimited amount. Gyan, he has unlimited knowledge, he knows everything. And Vairagya, he doesn't need anything from anyone, he's totally self-complacent. Doesn't need a thing from outside of himself. He's Atmaram, he's happy in and of himself. So he has these 6 qualities in unlimited amount. Therefore, he's called Bhagavan. Now, in this world, if you meet somebody and you ask them, maybe you're the same age, but you ask them, what do you do for a living? I'm the CEO of Google. You'll be like, oh. How do I talk to this person? All of a sudden you become tense. Yeah, I have 3 PhDs, one from Stanford, one from Harvard, one from MIT, and I also studied in IIT in India. Bapre. How will I talk to this person? I'm only a high school graduate. So even in the world, if somebody's a little bit above us, we get tense like that. How will we relate to Bhagavan if we come face to face with Bhagavan? Who will be able to love him? We'll all be doing this from a distance, doing his arti, singing his stuti, being afraid. Arjuna was afraid. Shri Krishna gave him divine eyes, and then what did he say? Disho na jane na labhe cha sharma prasid devesh jagan nivas. He said to Krishna and then, Bas karo bas. I'm totally overwhelmed, awestruck by seeing your divine almightiness, but it's too much. I want to see you in your friendly form again. So Shri Krishna again became normal, sitting on the chariot in front of Arjuna. So this is our status, this is the reality between us and Shri Krishna, between us and God. So what is the riayat here? He says in Gita, Ye yatha mam prapadyante tas tathaiva bhajamyam. He says, I've made a rule. Whatever soul loves me in whatever way and in whatever amount, I love that same soul in the same way, in the same amount. So that means we have 5 choices, really 4, how to love God. The 5th one is like the seeing him as God. We call that Shant Bhav. He's the king and we are a subject in his kingdom. We're just a tiny soul, he's supreme God. That's Shant Bhav. That's what we have in Vaikuntha Lok with Mahavishnu. We can admire him from a distance, but no loving interaction. Then we start the 4 bhav that remove Bhagwan's Bhagavatta. The first one is called Dasya Bhav. In Dasya Bhav, we think of God not as God, but as our mother, father, or Swami, you could say, like master. We're his servant, we're his das. He is our Swami. We are his child. He is our father. She is our mother. So, see, now you're not thinking of Bhagwan as Bhagwan. Bhagwan ki Bhagavatta ko nikal diya humne bahar. Unko apna bana diya. So, according to his own rule, he says, if you love me as that I am your master, I love you as a benevolent master loves their loving servant. Now you have a relationship with him. He's no longer just God. A king also has some servants, right? There are normal subjects in the kingdom that have no right to go close to the king. That would be Shant Bhav. But the king also would have some personal servants who go in his personal quarters, have all kinds of access to even talk to the king. That's like Dasya Bhav. But still, in Dasya Bhav, there's still quite a lot of formality. But in this devotion to Bhagwan, that formality starts reducing. See, Hanumanji had this relationship with Bhagwan Ram. Hanumanji Das the, दास्य भाव से भगवान राम से प्यार करते थे. So one day what happened? प्रभु तरु तर कपिडार पर. See, there's supposed to be rules between the servant and the master. One of those rules is the servant should never sit higher and the master lower. But here today what happened? Hanumanji is sitting up in the tree and Bhagwan Ram is relaxing, sitting on the ground at the base of the tree. Hanumanji is basically sitting on his head up in the tree. But neither is Bhagwan Ram scolding him for his maryada ka ullangan, for transgressing the bounds of the rules of being a servant. Nor does Hanumanji realize that he's doing this. Why? Because there's a ras in dasya bhav, in this love between the das and the Swami. There's a love that gives the experience of ras, the nectar of that divine love. This is the field of prem. Prem ka kshetra hai. So how much the prem is being revealed, that much Bhagwan and Bhagwan's devotee forget their status. And they just get drowned in the love. This is Dasya Bhav. But still in Dasya Bhav, there's lots of rules that you have to consider. So further ahead in Sakhya Bhav, the rules pretty much disappear. Sakhya Bhav is when you love Bhagwan as your friend. So imagine, if you feel in your heart, Krishna is my best friend, then what is his rule? He loves you the same way in return. Not acting, not like a conscious decision that now I have to do this because this soul is loving me. But it's like an automatic thing. Automatically, because God's heart is more loving even than our heart is loving. We all want to love. Bhagwan, where do you think we get that from? We get that quality from Bhagwan. His heart is very soft. बहुत सरल हृदय वाले हैं, तो उनका हृदय पिघल जाता है, बहुत जल्दी पिघल जाता है. जब कोई उनको अपना मानता है तो तुरंत उस जीव को अपना मान लेते हैं. So he accepts us as his friend. If we love him with that feeling of friendship, we call Sakhya Bhav. In Sakhya Bhav, which Shri Krishna gave us many examples during his avatar, he actually came with friends from his divine abode. Because once you attain Bhagwan's prem, you go to his divine abode, then you're doing leelas with him all day long, serving him all day long. And when he takes avatar, he has to bring some of his divine saints with him, because otherwise how will he reveal his divine pastimes, his divine leelas here on earth? He can't do it amongst us. How will we participate? We won't even recognize him as God. So he has to bring his own people from the divine world and reveal those leelas. Therefore, thousands and thousands of Walbals came from divine Golok, either around the same time as Shri Krishna, before Shri Krishna took avatar, just after he took avatar. They all took birth here in Braj and became Shri Krishna's friends to reveal to the world that this is Sakhya Bhav, and you can love Bhagwan like this and remove his Bhagavata by loving him as your very own friend. See, Shri Krishna's friends didn't think of him as Bhagwan at all. Even when, imagine, he lifted Govardhan Hill. Govardhan, it's not like a little hillock in your backyard. Even that would be amazing. Govardhan Hill is 7 miles long. It's a big mountain. Shri Krishna lifted Govardhan with one hand on the pinky, on the nail of the pinky of his left hand. He held up Govardhan. And what did his friends do? Did they say, "What? My best friend is God? He's so powerful?" They would have been afraid, right? No, they didn't think that at all. They all took their lathia, because the boys and Krishna, they would all be out grazing the cows every day. You have to have a stick. The cows are big and strong, and you have to kind of tap on them sometimes to make them go this way or that way. So you need your stick when you're grazing the cows. Nice sturdy stick. All those boys started taking their lathia and pushing up underneath the mountain. And they're thinking, look at this Kanha. He is such a joker that even now, itna serious mamla hai, such a serious situation, if this mountain falls, all the Brajwasis are under here getting saved from Indra's rainstorm. If this mountain falls, everyone will be crushed. And look at Kana. He's putting one little finger like this. It's like if you're moving a couch and you have 6 guys lifting. There's always one guy who's just putting his hand pretending to lift and the other people are lifting. Just like that, look at Kana. So lazy. Krishna's friends never thought of him as God. If they thought of him as God, then just like after Govardhan Leela finished, then amongst the elders, there was some discussion. Did you see Nanda Baba's boy lifted that mountain? He is some divine power for sure. They all started looking at him like this. So Kanha is thinking, Sab gur ke meri aur kyun dekh rahe? He's like, why is all of a sudden that apanapan is gone? People are looking at me like I'm some stranger. What's going on? He started crying. Then everybody said, oh no, he's just our Kanhaiya. What were we thinking? We're crazy. So in Braj, nobody thought of Shri Krishna as God. If they did, then the ras was gone. The ras of Sakhya Bhav was gone. The ras of Dasya Bhav was gone. And beyond Sakhya Bhav is Vatsalya Bhav. That's where you love Krishna as your own boy. He's my son. I'm his mother or I'm his father, like Maiya Yashoda or Nanda Baba. Now, according to his rule, his own rule that he's bound by, now he has become smaller than you. When you love him as a friend, you're actually his equal. But when you love him as your own son, now he has to listen to you. You tell him, time to get up, Kanhaiya, let's go. You have to go and graze the cows. Your friends are already here waiting for you. You tell him, look, you have to eat more. How will you grow big and strong? Eat some more roti. You bathe him, you dress him. He has to listen to you. You're his parent. Now, the soul has become bigger and God has become smaller. The roles are reversed. The status is reversed. And this is his riayat. Right? He has given us permission to love him like this. And he has bound himself by this rule that however you love me, I love you the same way in return. So when Kanhaiya is crying to get into mother's lap, Maiya Yashoda decided today I'm going to churn the curd myself and make butter for my Kanha. And Kanhaiya is saying, Maiya, I just want to sit in your godi. Just stop what you're doing. And Maiya is saying, no, I want to make this butter for you. Kanha is stamping his little feet on the ground and throwing a temper tantrum. He's crying until Maiya stops what she does and picks Kanhaiya up. So, was God really crying to get in the lap of a soul? I thought it was supposed to be the other way around. We should be crying to get into God's lap. Yeah, this is the greatness of Prem. It makes Shri Krishna forget his divine status. So he's really crying. He really wanted to get into Maiya's lap. So if you want Kanha to love you in that way, as his own mother, as his own father, then you accept him in your heart as your own son. So simple. And the fourth bhav is called Gopi bhav or Madhurya bhav. In Madhurya bhav, the ras of Dasya, Sakhya and Vatsalya are all included, and you have the freedom to adopt any of those bhav anytime, but you also go one step further. You love Shri Krishna as your beloved, as your Priyatam. So in all of these bhav, whether you love him as your Priyatam, you love him as your son, you love him as your friend, you love him as your master or your mother, your father, the feeling that he is God is gone from the mind. So this is also part of sadhana bhakti. We call this style of doing bhakti raga nuga bhakti. Rag means love. In other words, we're not just worshipping God. हम भगवान की भक्ति नहीं कर रहे हैं. हम श्री कृष्ण से प्यार कर रहे हैं. इसको रागा नुगा भक्ति कहते हैं. So when we love Radha Krishna in this way, without asking anything from them, not the world, not mukti, we only want their love, their darshan, and to be with them like that and do their seva for their happiness. When we love them like that, they love us the same way in return. So we can choose whether we want to adopt Dasya or Sakhya or Vatsalya or Madhurya bhav in our practice of devotion. And now you've understood the three big graces that God has given us, three big compromises that God has given us to help us in our devotion. He has represented himself in the form of his name. He gives us full results for meditating on his form, even though we can't correctly imagine his form. He accepts our Rup Dhyan or our meditation, and he accepts our relationship with him. Whatever relationship we adopt, he reciprocates. He loves us the exact same way in return. And that's in the devotional stage as well as after God realization. That becomes your divine identity in the divine world. उनके लोक में जाकर आप क्या करेंगे? जैसे आपका भाव था साधना के समय, वैसे ही आपको स्थान मिल जाएगा उनके दिव्य लोक में. भगवत प्राप्ति के बाद आप उनका दोस्त बन जाएंगे, सचमुच उनकी माँ बन जाएंगे, उनकी प्रेयसी बन जाएंगे. ये सब आपके भाव के ऊपर है. So we've covered these three topics of the three riyayat of Bhagavan that are required for our devotion. Without them, no soul could have ever reached God, but God makes devotion to him possible and makes attaining him possible through these special graces upon us. So before we do a little bit of kirtan, we have a special Mother's Day kirtan to sing for Radharani. But before that, if anybody has any questions, we can take a few minutes to field some questions and try to clarify the knowledge more for you. अगर किसी को कुछ पूछना है अभी पूछ सकते हैं और उसके बाद हम लोग कीर्तन कर लेंगे. Yes.
प्रभु आप ये बताइए कि जैसे आपने सब कुछ बताया ये ठीक है, ज्ञान के रूप में आपको ठीक मिला और आपने बहुत अच्छा लेक्चर किया है, सो मच रिगार्डिंग. पर इसको प्रैक्टिकल वे में जैसे हम फैमिली में रहते हैं, राइट? सो हाउ वी अटैचमेंट विदाउट अटैचमेंट बोलते हैं कि नहीं होगा भगवान से। तो अटैचमेंट के बारे में थोड़ा सा बताइए, हाउ यू गो टुवर्ड्स डिटैचमेंट व्हेन यू हैव चिल्ड्रन, विद योर जॉब, विद ऑल दिस थिंग्स। सो हाउ व्हाट इज योर सजेशन इन दैट वन, लाइक पीपल शुड डू इट लाइक अस?
There's two things. One is about doing manan of the knowledge. Like I explained, I've been touching on this a little bit each day about the nature of worldly happiness, that it doesn't satisfy the soul completely. So we have to know that okay, यहाँ संसार में असली सुख नहीं है, असली सुख भगवान में है। तो ये जो मेरी कामनाएं हैं, जो मेरे अटैचमेंट्स हैं, ये क्यों हैं? इसलिए हैं क्योंकि मैं सुख चाहता हूँ, मैं आनंद चाहता हूँ। तो ये गलत नहीं है, आनंद चाहना गलत नहीं है, ये हमारा स्वभाव है। लेकिन आनंद कहाँ है ये समझना चाहिए। तो आनंद संसार में नहीं है, आनंद भगवान में है। इसलिए मन भगवान में लगाओ। और ये स्वाभाविक है कि अगर बुद्धि ने समझ लिया कि यहाँ मेरा स्वार्थ सिद्ध नहीं होगा, आनंद वाला यहाँ होगा, वहाँ प्रेम हो जाता है अपने आप। तुलसीदास जी कहते हैं कि सुर नर मुनि सब की यह रीति, स्वार्थ लागी करहि सब प्रीति। जहाँ जितना हमको लगता है कि यहाँ से सुख मिलेगा, उसका चिंतन हम करने लगते हैं और उतना अटैचमेंट हो जाता है उसमें। उस अटैचमेंट को प्रेम प्यार कहते हैं। So by understanding that my divine soul happiness that I want, that's in Shri Krishna. The more you think that, the more you'll get attached to him. Now that doesn't mean that you'll abandon your responsibilities or your family in the world, but you get a more realistic view of it. We get disappointed a lot and we get frustrated a lot by the world and by our family because they don't live up to our expectations. But the expectations were unrealistic. Our expectation was, this person will make me perfectly happy. We might not say it, but that's what we're hoping in our heart. I'll get perfect happiness. So it's unrealistic. They don't have perfect happiness. How will they give it to us? Perfect happiness is only in God. So we become much more calm. Then, okay, I have to live in the world. I'll happily do my responsibilities, take care of my family, be a nice person to be around. I'm not going to become nasty that, oh, I don't need any of this. Happiness is only in God. No, we don't become nasty or uncaring. We just become realistic. Oh, okay, now I get it. There's no happiness here. That's why I kept getting disappointed and angry. Happiness is in Bhagwan. Okay, so I get more attached to Shri Krishna and I still carefully take care of my responsibilities in the world without that frustration, the angst of hoping for the wrong, something that's not even there and getting disappointed again and again. So it's all about the manan. We have to take this philosophy and think about it deeply again and again. And to help us with that, we also have to take some time out every day dedicated for this, what I was explaining, doing the Roop Dhyan and the Kirtan. And while doing that, trying to feel one of those four relationships, Dasya, Sakhya, Vatsalya, or Madhurya. So that sadhana, we can call it like Ekant sadhana. We sit and sing some kirtan or play like one of Kripalji Maharaj's kirtan from his YouTube channel. It helps us focus. We're chanting God's name. And while we're doing that, we're visualizing Shri Krishna, thinking, he is mine, he's my divine friend, he's my divine beloved, and you're visualizing him. So see, through this, your mind is getting attached to him. There's like a slowly, you're getting a connection with Him. That's the process. So it's all about the mind.
Thank you.
Swamiji, I want to know something. She came late, although you explain what is the really difference in mukti and moksha.
Oh, mukti and moksha is the same. Paryavachi Shabd is exactly the same. Liberation in English, mukti or moksha. Also called apavarg, third word in Sanskrit. Yes, Didi?
How do you get more attraction and love towards any god? Like, so you praying, suppose Radha Krishna is praying Gayatri Ma or Hanuman. So when you visualize, like, because whenever you go any temple or in our home even, we don't have a one god. We have like Ram and Krishna, everything.
Mm-hmm.
So, like you said, one is a Bhagavan, one, but all different kind of I think this is all
These are all
created-
Bhagwan's forms,
Yes,
right?
yes. So it's
So it's
like,
better to choose one.
oh,
Because
okay.
if you're trying to develop that feeling of apnapan
Uh-huh.
and practice the meditation, the roop in your
Uh-huh.
mind, so you get better practice if you're focused on one form.
Okay.
Yeah.
And another question that once you start doing like praying or meditations, like you start, so it has to be same time every day.
It's helpful as far as then it becomes a routine that you won't miss.
Mm-hmm.
But as far as getting more benefit at one time or another, that doesn't apply for this practice of bhakti. You can do it anytime, whenever it's suitable to your schedule. But it is recommended to set one time and do it at that time every day so that it becomes a habit. This gentleman also. Yes.
I have a question on, like, when we are living in the society, like many things happen to us, whether situational or you are at fault, someone tells you something, you feel bad, or someone like publicly says something which you didn't feel good about yourself. How do you not harbor ill feeling for them? How do you take, like, if anyone says you something, right? How do you not have any bad feeling for the other?
We have to get that control over our mind, and the best way to do that is have a little conversation with your mind. We have one mind, and we're trying to purify it by thinking of Bhagwan. So however much we bring Bhagwan into our mind, that much our mind gets purified. And however much we're thinking negative thoughts, that much more impurity comes in. So now when we're dwelling upon, we're doing chintan of something somebody said. So now we're developing dvesh for that person. That kind of negativity is polluting our heart. And we've definitely chased God away. We've replaced thoughts of God with this negative thinking. So now we have to reflect, what am I doing? That person said what they said, and it's like they lit a fire and ran away. They're fine. वो कह के चला गया अपना, और अब मेरा हृदय जल रहा है 3 दिन से. मैं अपना ही कितना नुकसान कर रहा हूँ. I'm harming myself. This person is living his life fine. He said what he said, and now I'm harming myself for the last 3 days. What's the point of that? So you have to like reason with your mind. Like, what are you doing? It's only words. He didn't hit me. He just said some words. Forget about it. Think of God. This life is short. You don't want to spend it thinking about negative things for no reason.
Thank you.
Yes.
So I have a clarification question related to the third rihayat of Bhagwan, which is to forget about his Bhagavata and think about his as an emotional, like, a relationship we have like sansar. So when I forget about the Bhagavata of Bhagwan, then how will I remember he's the person I'm visualizing is Bhagwan. Like, because for me it's like a little bit already hard to think that God is the Almighty, you know. But when I'm practicing sadhana in this space, then I'm not sure if like Bhagwan will be there in that, you know, relationship. Because I'm not thinking of Bhagwan as
But
he
you're
is.
thinking of Krishna or Radha,
Maybe I will
right?
make a form, like a blue form, let's say. But maybe my
But think
feelings-
of Krishna. It shouldn't be like some vague thing. Think of Krishna.
But I don't know too much about how Krishna is, right? Like I know a couple of his qualities.
But is your intention that I'm thinking of Krishna?
Okay.
Then you are thinking of him.
Even though I don't know about him. That's
You know something about him, enough about him.
Thank you.
Someone here had a question?
They say that doing sadhana in the morning time, 4 o'clock, that's the best time. Why that's a myth there, or there is a...
That doesn't apply to the path of bhakti, for God realization. That is for karmakand, for accruing punya to go to swarg or get a better destiny in the next life. Then there's all kinds of rules like that. Like you can't worship God without bathing, it has to be at a certain time, you have to be facing east, so many things. Sitting in a certain way. In bhakti, you just are loving God, you're surrendering your mind. So there's no restriction of time, place, what way you're facing, what clothes are you wearing. None of it has any bearing. Like when you love somebody in the world, you're not thinking about, oh, I can't have loving thoughts about my daughter, I didn't have a bath yet. Right? Those loving thoughts are bhakti. So we do bhakti of people in the world all the time without even thinking, without, restricting, you can say. So why are we restricting our love for God? By saying, oh, I can't do bhakti when, at this time of day, or when my body is in this state. Actually, it's supposed to be, according to Bhagavatam, Tasmat sarvatmana rajan hari sarvatra sarvada. Sarvatra, every place, sarvada, all the time. Shrotavyah kirtitavyascha smartabhyo bhagavan nirnam. Shukadev ji said, do 3 bhaktis all the time, everywhere. Shrotavyah, keep listening about Bhagavan Shri Krishna, his leelas, his personality. Kirtan, keep chanting his name. And smaran. Smaran is the core. That's the most important one. Keep thinking of him over and over again. So these 3 kinds of bhakti, there's no restriction whatsoever.
Is there a place for telepathy also here?
That's an actual power of the mind that has nothing to do with Bhagwan or divine attainment. It's a material power. So that's actually, you could say, one of the lower material siddhis, material powers. They're very great ones, much greater than that. And none of them have any way of helping you to reach God. They're just material powers. So even sage Patanjali, Maharshi Patanjali said, Samadha vupasarga vyuthani siddhaya. He called those siddhis obstacles. Upasarga, he said. Samadha vupasarga. By practicing samadhi, these siddhis will come, but they are obstacles for you on your path. They're material allurements. Oh, I have this power. Then you forget about God. Yes.
If we cannot love anybody unconditionally, can we love God unconditionally?
We have to learn, and that should be our goal. Yes. And with Guru's grace, we do develop unconditional love for God.
Even if we are like in a very bad condition, we can still like love unconditionally.
If we have the right knowledge, yes.
Then where do you get the
guru, the right guru. That's why every day I'm telling you have to listen to the lectures of Kripaluji Maharaj. Get the knowledge from him. He's on TV, he's on YouTube, there's a lot of material on YouTube. There's nobody like him to give you the correct knowledge about devotion, Bhagwan, the aim of life, how to practice bhakti while living in the world. He's the best source for all of this. And we have a book also. Someone asked him in 1955, your pravachans are so nice, can you put the same thing in a book? So he dictated this book in 3 days. He said, okay, you sit and write. And he dictated with lots of references to different scriptures as well, so that you can see there's a scriptural basis for everything he's saying. He proves everything he's saying by referring to the scriptures, but it's all explained in a very simple, practical way, humorous way also. So we have his original Hindi one and a very good English translation as well. We have these available if anybody's interested afterwards. It's divided into chapters like the aim of life, what is the soul, who is God, what is karma, yoga, what is bhakti, what are the conditions of bhakti, like rules of bhakti that you have to follow to do it correctly. A lot of important information in here. So
Did you go to his place?
I met him. I started attending his satsangs here in the US in 1998, and then I went and met him in 2000 or 2001 and spent many years learning from him, studying from him, and so then, just like a lot of people here in America, we got blessed that his mission, was being spread here in the U.S. And I got to get the knowledge even though I wasn't born in India.
Yeah, you did that. Not only the pronunciation, but the expression.
We also have a weekly satsang. Kripaluji Maharaj's, some people who have been following his philosophy for a long time, they get together and practice kirtan, dhyan. They do it at their own homes, like on a rotation basis. So everybody's invited. If you want to get the information, where is the satsang happening, on what week, you can. Where's Anita Didi? And Anita Didi, Vaibhavi Didi here. Yes, here in New Jersey. So we have at different cities all over the U.S.
Looking for, like a Gita. I started understanding a little bit now, but still we need a lot.
So in our satsang, it's like today, except we'll watch a lecture of Shri Kripaluji Maharaj, a video lecture, and we'll do the kirtan. These kirtan are also written by him to help us do better meditation on Radha Krishna. So in our satsang, we're not like studying Gita or something. We're just like you listen to the essence from me today. So we listen to the essence from Kripaluji Maharaj, we listen to his lectures, and then we practice the meditation and the kirtan. So if you want to join in, you can give your information, contact information, and they'll keep you updated. And then you'll also know when in the future we have programs like this. Anywhere in New Jersey, we'll announce those as well. So let us do some kirtan. Today's Mother's Day, so today we can think of Radharani as our Divine Mother, and we'll chant this one kirtan, beautiful kirtan revealed by Jagadguru Shri Kripaluji Maharaj. मंजीरा कहाँ है? कोई बजा तो सही। इसके ऊपर बैठी हो।
इसके ऊपर बैठी हो।
बजाओ आगे। उसको There are enough copies for everybody? सबको दे दो। चलो बरसाने मिले बरसाने वाली,
चलो बरसाने मिले बरसाने वाली,
चलो बरसाने मिले बरसाने वाली,
चलो बरसाने मिले बरसाने वाली।
बोलो जय हो कृष्ण दुलारी,
बोलो जय हो कृष्ण दुलारी।
बोलो जय हो कृष्ण दुलारी,
बोलो जय हो कृष्ण दुलारी।
गोरी गोरी भोरी भारी मोरी महतारी,
गोरी गोरी भोली भारी मोरी महतारी।
गोरी गोरी भोरी भारी मोरी महतारी,
गोरी गोरी भोली भारी मोरी महतारी।
मोरी महतारी,
मोरी महतारी।
मोरी महतारी,
मोरी महतारी।
नित्य किशोरी ब्रज रस मोरी प्यारी,
नित्य किशोरी ब्रज रस मोरी प्यारी।
नित्य किशोरी ब्रज रस मोरी प्यारी,
नित्य किशोरी ब्रज रस मोरी प्यारी।
चलो बरसाने मिले बरसाने वाली,
चलो बरसाने मिले बरसाने वाली।
चलो बरसाने मिले बरसाने वाली,
चलो बरसाने मिले बरसाने वाली।
वयस की थोड़ी प्रिय चित्त चोरी प्यारी,
बरस की थोड़ी प्रिय चित्त चोरी प्यारी।
वयस जग यहाँ अंग्रेजी का अनुवाद गलत है. It's not saying I will have darshan of Krishna while I am sweeping. It's saying that I'll get to see Krishna also doing seva in Radharani's palace. He also goes there to do the sweeping seva. Radha and Krishna are one. वो एक ही हैं और एक दूसरे की सेवा करते हैं. ये प्यार, ये प्रेम का स्वभाव है. अपने जो प्रियतम है उनको सुख देने की इच्छा होती है, इसलिए वहाँ ठाकुर जी भी जाते हैं अपनी आत्मा राधा रानी की सेवा करने. दिखेंगे बिहारी कहाँ देत बुहारी,
दिखेंगे बिहारी कहाँ देत बुहारी.
बोलो जय हो वृषभानु दुलारी.
बोलो जय हो वृषभानु दुलारी.
चुटकी बजाऊं जब जमुआओ प्यारी,
चुटकी बजाऊं जब जमुआओ प्यारी.
चुटकी बजाऊं जब जमुआओ प्यारी.
चुटकी बजाऊं जब जमुआओ प्यारी.
सदा ही कृपालु रहूं तेरे संग 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 प्यारी.
चलो बरसाने मिले बरसाने पानी.
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 बोलो जय हो वृषभानु दुलारी.
बोलो जय हो वृषभानु दुलारी.
बोलो जय हो वृषभानु दुलारी.
ओ बोलो जय हो वृषभानु दुलारी.
बरसाने मिले बरसाने पानी.
चलो बरसाने मिले बरसाने पानी.
बरसाने मिले बरसाने पानी.
चलो बरसाने मिले बरसाने पानी.
बोलो बरसाने वाली की, हमारी महतारी राधा रानी की. Now we'll have the arti.